My name is Leo Anthony Celi. I'm an intensive care unit doctor at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center here in Boston, Massachusetts. My research is based at the Massachusetts Institute of Technologi, and the focus is on the application of health data science in the delivery of healthcare. Sure, artificial intelligence is trying to automate decision making so that you're less reliant on humans making these decisions, because we know that as humans, we make mistakes, we have biases, and what we're hoping to do is to add some objectivity in the way we're making these decisions. And the primary methodology to automate this is to use the data that we have in order to build these algorithms that will assist the doctors and the nurses in the way they're making decisions. I wanted to go back to my definition of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is coding the way we make decisions. And what we thought in the beginning is that we don't need doctors and nurses anymore to make decisions, because it looks like we can train computers to do that for us. And in that regard, it might be premature to celebrate, because it turns out that the way we make decisions as doctors and nurses, just because we are humans, is that there could be some biases. And now we're discovering that perhaps all the algorithms that we have built so far are also tainted with subjectivity, with biases. And for that reason, the artificial intelligence community is pausing to make sure that we understand completely how the computers are making decisions. Because if they're making decisions the way humans do, then what is going to happen is that we encode all these biases and prejudice that leads to disparities in care into artificial intelligence. However, I would say that I'm still excited about what's happening now, because I think that we are being more aware of the problems, and we're allowing other disciplines to help us solve these problems. So for the first time, we're allowing the computer scientists, the engineers, to work with those at the front lines of care to try to fix some of the problems we see in day-to-day healthcare delivery. Yeah, so the business model that is prevalent right now is companies are trying to build algorithms, and then they want to start selling these algorithms to hospitals and clinics. I think that's very dangerous, because when you build an algorithm, a lot of the assumption is that the population that you use, the data of the population that you use, is representative of everyone, and that's always not the case. When you build an algorithm in hospital A, it's going to work for hospital A, but chances are it's not going to perform as well when you go to hospital B. And you might be causing harm for patients in hospital B, because they may be very different from the patients in hospital A. The way medicine is being practiced in hospital B could also be different from hospital A. And for that reason, the algorithm is not going to work. And this is the reason why we don't think that you could just build an algorithm using data from one hospital and apply it to another hospital, no matter how similar those hospitals are. The other important thing to understand about artificial intelligence is that these algorithms, they're not fixed products. They will need to be continuously trained, because what we know is that an algorithm might be working now perfectly well, but a year from now, 2 years from now, I could guarantee you that the performance of these algorithms would deteriorate. And for that reason, we need to track the performance of the algorithm over time, so that we can recalibrate it so that it continues to perform the way it is intended to perform in the future. So once again, algorithms are not like drugs. They're not like medical device where once you have built them, you can expect it to work similarly across time. Algorithms, they need to be continuously monitored after you implement them, and you need to continuously recalibrate them so that it maintains its performance. And for that reason, the way we regulate drugs and medical devices should be different from the way we regulate algorithms. And the concept of patenting an algorithm, to me, is potentially dangerous and harmful to patients. I think the biggest barrier that we have stumbled upon is the likelihood that we will encrypt the biases that exist in healthcare now into the algorithms. Because the way we evaluate algorithms is how accurate they are in predicting a complication, in predicting survival. But if the data that we're using, which is real world data, is tainted, laced with disparities, some groups of people are not receiving better care, and for that reason their outcomes are worse, they have more complications. This is going to be encapsulated in the algorithm. So what's going to happen is we're going to perpetuate forever, perpetuate the disparities that we're seeing now. And the machine learning community is really grappling with this discovery and trying our best to see how we could fix this, because accuracy, as we are doing now, should not be the sole method of being able to say whether these algorithms are valuable or not. It has to go beyond that, because if all we're doing is trying to reproduce what's happening now in the world, then we have no chance of improving health outcomes of the population. This is the biggest challenge right now. We need to understand how these algorithms work and making decisions, and we have to make sure that they're not behaving like humans. And it's hard to do that because we're using human data to develop these algorithms. So unless we can make some headway in terms of debiasing, as we call it, debiasing this algorithm, I don't think that we are ready for AI to really be in the mainstream of how we deliver care. For sure that we have to make sure that the algorithms are not just going to mirror what we have now, because what we have now is far from perfect. We know that poor people tend to have worse outcomes, and if we keep predicting this is going to happen. And what's gonna be the end product of the use of algorithms is very similar to what we have now, and that's not our intention. Our intention is to build algorithms that are better than humans, build algorithms that are more fair, less prejudiced. And how to do that, I don't have the answer right now. That is the biggest mystery, that is the biggest challenge to the machine learning in healthcare community. So I think we should invest our money in understanding how the algorithms work. I get frustrated when we're evaluating submissions for publication, submissions for presentation in conferences, because all they're trying to do is to improve accuracy. Once again, if accuracy is their only intent, then we have no hope of improving the way we deliver care. We have no hope in reducing the disparities in outcomes. We don't know exactly how to evaluate fairness. The current metrics for evaluation of fairness is still hinged on how accurate it is in performing the task it was designed for. And we need to think more broadly, because that's not gonna cut it. Accuracy should not be the only way, and probably should not be the way to evaluate algorithms. And this is an ongoing challenge. We need more brilliant minds. We need more investments. We need more talent to help us figure out on how to really understand how algorithms work and how we could fool the algorithms so that they don't think like humans, that they're not as biased as humans. To me, that's where companies should invest their money in. That's where universities should focus their curriculum for teaching artificial intelligence. That's where journals should really emphasize when selecting papers for publications. So we have a long way to go. We are just beginning our journey. We're reaching some hiccups right now. It's very difficult to move forward, but I think we are smart enough to be able to address the issue that we are faced with. So one problem that I have not even touched upon is the data. Where do we get the data? People think that artificial intelligence can be conjured from nothing. No, artificial intelligence depends on data, and not just data. It should be well curated data, and that type of data is not available for most of the world. The majority of artificial intelligence research is only happening in the rich countries, and as I said earlier, you cannot build algorithms in rich countries and think that those algorithms will work in the rest of the world. So somehow our mission and vision is to engage everyone at every corner of this planet to be excited, passionate about collecting the data and analyzing that and developing the algorithms themselves, so that there is more participation by a lot of groups of people with different expertise and different experience in the way we're doing it right now at MIT. We have created these databases, we've made them available. We have 25,000 users from around the world, and we need to see this happen in Argentina. We're not going to have any advances in artificial intelligence in Argentina unless we start collecting the data and curating them and making them available to as many investigators with different backgrounds, with different experiences and perspectives.